Okay, so we're going to start on the ears. This time you're going to use a 4mm hook, okay? So this is the size of my ear that's going to go on the cap, okay? So first you're going to start with a magic ring. To do the beginner way to do a magic ring is you're going to make a slip knot, you're going to chain 4, and then you're going to slip stitch into the very first stitch. Okay? In that ring, we're going to put 6 single crochet. It might seem a little awkward, but we're not chaining at all. We're just going to go ahead and go into the stitches. So again, 6 single crochet into your magic ring. Pull your yarn tail, and then we're going to slip stitch to the very first stitch that we've made. So let me make sure that I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have 6. 6, and then I'm slip stitching into my first single crochet that I made. Now you're going to get a stitch marker and you're going to put it at your first stitch. So count again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to put it in my first stitch so that I know this is my first stitch that I'm going to start off with. I had to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so in our first stitch, this pattern for this row will be 1 and an increase. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So where we have our stitch marker, we're going to put 1 single crochet, and the whole pattern of the ears is just single crochet. All right. Then the next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet into the same stitch. And this row, we're just going to repeat 1, 2, 1, 2 until we get back to our stitch marker. Okay, so I am done with that row. Okay, again, we're not slip stitching, we're not doing anything, we're just continuing our rounds. I took my stitch marker out, so in my first stitch for this row, our pattern is going to be 1, 1, 2. So I'm going to put 1 single crochet here, and then I'm going to put my stitch marker back so that I will know where my row starts. Next stitch, 1 single crochet. Next stitch is an increase, which means 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So again, this row is 1, 1, 2. Okay, so this is what your work should look like. Now you can see our ears starting to curve. Our next pattern will be 1, 1, 2. Okay, so I'm going to go where my first stitch marker is. I'm going to put 1 single crochet. I'm going to remove that stitch marker and replace it so I will know my first stitch of the row. Next stitch, 1 single crochet. Next stitch, 1 single crochet. Next stitch, 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So this pattern is 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, increase. For this next row, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch. Again, I'm going where my stitch marker is. I'm putting a single crochet. I'm taking the stitch marker out and putting it in the new stitch that I created. And again, I'm just doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around until I get back to my stitch marker. Now I made it back to my stitch marker, and now I'm going to do another row of just 1 single crochet in each stitch. Okay, so now our pattern increases again. We're going to do 4 single crochet and then an increase. So the pattern again is 1, 1, 1, 1, increase. So I'm putting my 1 where my stitch marker is, and I'm replacing it to my new stitch that I just made. So that was 1, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 4 single crochet, and then into this 5th stitch, I'm doing 2 single crochet. That's my increase. So repeat that, 1, 1, 1, 4. I mean, sorry guys, 1, 1, 1, 1, increase. Okay, next row is 5 and then an increase. So 1 1 1 1 1 increase. That's what this next row is going to be. And you may have already guessed it, but our next row is going to be 6 and an increase. And this is our last increase, okay? So 6 single crochets and then an increase into the 7th single crochet. Okay, so now for the next 4 rows, you're going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch. Again, the next 4 rows, put 1 single crochet into each stitch. So I'm starting row 1 right now. Okay, so I've done my 4 rows of 1 single crochet in each stitch. All right, so now we're going to start decreasing to make our ear, come in. All right, so in order to decrease, we're going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease for this row. So I'm going to go where my stitch marker is. I'm going to put a single crochet. I'm going to take my stitch marker out and put it on the single crochet I just made. All right. So that was 1 single. I'm going to put my second single and then a decrease. So all I'm doing is going into the stitch, grabbing my yarn, going into the next stitch, grabbing my yarn. So now I have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. That's how you're going to decrease, okay? So again, 2 single crochets and then a decrease for this row. Okay, I've made it back to my stitch marker. For this row, I'm just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch going all the way around. That's all you're doing. 1 single crochet in each stitch. So let me replace my stitch marker if it will come loose. And I'm just placing 1 single crochet in each stitch now. I made it back to my stitch marker. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet and then an decrease, okay? So I'm just putting 1 single, and this is our last row so I'm not going to worry about moving the stitch marker, but I'm definitely going to leave the stitch marker, okay? So I did 1 and now I'm just going to do a decrease. Next stitch, 1 single crochet, next stitch, decrease. So I'm going to repeat that till I get back to my stitch marker. Okay, so we are done with our ear. So now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to leave about 6 inches of tail so that we can sew it on to our cap, okay? All right, so now from here, this is where your darning needle comes in, okay? Also, I like to flip this inside out because you know how we started, we did a magic ring and I had my tail. So I like to flip mine on the other side, and I just like the appearance of the other side of my ear. Let me go ahead and switch my other ear that I had also. So now the tail is inside the ear. Okay. So now we have this long tail that we're going to use to sew, but first we need to sew this bottom part of our ear together. So this is where either your darning needle comes in or you can use your hook and do, slip stitching. I like to just use my darning needle. So where is it? Where is it? Hold on, let me find it. Okay, so all you're doing is just sewing the bottom open space of your ear. Just go through each stitch like a weaving in and out motion through each stitch to make sure that your ear is completely sealed closed. This shouldn't take any longer than like maybe 2 minutes per ear. Like I haven't even been sewing for 30 seconds and my ear is already, sewed together. So this probably took me about 45 seconds to sew. And you don't have to knot it or anything because you're just going to sew it right onto the hat, okay? Remember to do that for your other ear also. So now our ear is closed. Okay. So I'm going to do the other ear and I'm going to come back. Okay, so now I have my hat. I like to sew counting from the middle, 1, 2. So I like to add my ear on that third row. 1, 2, 3. And that's how I like to place my ears. 1, 2, 3. I think that's good placement. So from here, you can just take your darning needle again and start sewing. 1, 2, 3. You literally just sew on the cap. It's literally nothing to it, you guys. Make sure to sew through the bottom part that you sewed to make sure that your ears stay standing up. That is the key to making sure that your ears stay standing up. Make sure that you sew through the top, not the top, through the part that we sewed together of the ear. Okay? So I'm just going to continue to sew this on my hat. I don't really know a good way to show you guys this part. But just remember to start sewing on row 3 up from the base of your cap, and to sew on the part that you sewed to close your ear, to make sure that you sew that part so that your ear can stand up. Okay, so this is where the fun part comes in. Okay, so I got these New York strips and I got these little bead pins from Amazon. Okay, I either get them from Amazon or from Temu. It just depends how quick I need the hat to be made. Okay, so basically I just hot glue this on here, add my little beads on there. This part is of course completely up to you how you would like to decorate your cap, but this is the finished product.